Nokne warriors, and welcome to another episode in the Delta Quadrant called What's Left Behind.
Admiral Tuvok would like you to join his team as they study the mysterious artifact you found on Vaadwaur Prime. Meet with them in the Nal Shadan system.
Very well, now that's not your voice. Sir, we arrived in the Nal Shadan system. Voyager sends Admiral Tuvok's regards and says they're ready for you as we moved into transporter range. Understood, let's meet with Voyager. Ready for transport? Yes. Transport complete. Admiral Tuvok has arranged to greet you in the transporter room. He wishes to speak with you about the device we recovered from Gull. Understood, I'll talk to Tuvok.
Welcome back to Voyager. We were about to begin studying the device you recovered from Gull's communication center. Since you have spearheaded much of our efforts here, I would like you to take the lead once again. Captain Kim and 7 of 9 are at your disposal. Talk with them if you need more help deciphering the device. When you finish your analysis, return to me for further orders. I will be here in the transporter room to see you off.
Understood, Admiral. I'll take a look at the device and engineering.
Glad you're here. We transported the device to engineering here so we could run all the scans and tests we could think of. The first thing we need to do is determine how it's communicating. We can't find any normal transmissions from it, but we're hoping you have some new ideas to bring to the table.
Agreed. Scan the device for subspace fields. Vaadwaur self-proclaimed masters of underspace, a form of subspace in the Delta Quadrant, so you hypothesize the device may be used to communicate directly to subspace. Your scans pick up a faint resonance. The device appears to be designed to communicate with similar devices located in subspace.
The device communicates with subspace. We should have guessed that.
Yeah, you should have.
Now comes the hard part. We need to access the device's memory core. The engineering team here on Voyager is good, and I've heard your team is top-notch, but it might take more time than we have for either team to make a full analysis. We should have both teams give you their opinions on the device. If we work together, hopefully we can make a breakthrough.
Agreed.
You'll need to set switches on the device until we get solid readings. We'll be able to tell if switches are in the correct position, but not which switches. Good luck.
I'll go set the switches. You have the teams tell me when the state the device is in.
The engineering teams tell me 2 of the switches are in the The engineers tell me they're... The engineers tell... Sir, I've consulted with both the engineers here on Voyager and your chief engineer. I am seeing green across the board. All the switches are in the correct position, and we now have access to the primary memory core of the device. Unfortunately, we're only halfway there. Now we need to access the secondary memory core to get full access to the data we need.
I'll access the secondary memory core.
The engineers tell me there is... The engineering team. Looks like you did it.
Okay, I didn't mean to get cut through that cutscene real quick, but it is what it is.
We have access to the databanks of the device. Very efficient work. From the data we have received so far, we will be able to pinpoint the exact transmission coordinates. However, it is possible that doing so may alert whomever is on the other end that we have reverse-engineered their technology. There are 3 likely ways to get at the information. I suggest further analysis to determine the best course of action.
Agreed.
Fascinating. Excellent work. With this location, we may be able to finally reveal who gave the Vaadwaur their advanced technology, and why the neuroparasites appeared again in this time and place. Commander Jirok of the Romulan Republic has requested to join you on this operation. Her own analysis of the device has shown that the Romulans have had some contact with the creators of this device, a race known as the Ilachi. She will meet you in subspace at the given coordinates. Finally, Voyager's emergency medical hologram, the Doctor, will be assigned to your crew. His knowledge of the Delta Quadrant races may prove invaluable. He's not much of a combatant, but should prove useful.
Understood, Admiral.
Hello again.
Look forward to our mission together, Dahar Master. Ready to beam me back. I'm ready to go. We successfully transitioned into subspace. The IRW Lisette should be arriving any moment. Looks like Gulf's communications were going to an Ilachi outpost station. It's still active, sir, picking up several Ilachi ships in the area. Go to Yellow Alert and keep an eye on the Ilachi ships.
Greetings. This is Commander Jirok of the RRW Lisette. When we learned that the Ilachi were involved, I requested to shadow you on this mission. I know your experience with the Ilachi is limited. The Romulan Republic, however, has an extensive history with this race.
Happy to have your support. I doubt I'll need any more information on the Ilachi, though.
All right. We'll follow your lead here. We're seeing 3 patrol groups. Recommend we eliminate them before we board the station.
Indeed.
Another Alachi ship is here to defend the outpost.
We're going to transport to the station as soon as you're ready, sir. Let's do it.
Good. You found a breathing apparatus.
We
That should
arrived
take
on the
care of
outpost
that
station,
nasty
sir.
moth.
The doctor has offered to accompany the away team to offer his extensive knowledge of the Delta Quadrant. In addition, Commander Drock is taking an away team from the Lucette to another part of the facility. She wants to speak with you before we begin. Commander Drock?
I was thinking we should split up and cover as much of the facility as we can, unless you have a better idea.
Doctor, what's your take on the situation?
This is obviously an Alachi facility. What I know about them comes from the Romulan Republic's databases, but I should be able to learn more as we examine this location. The air here is suitable for the Alachi, which means that you may find breathing difficult. I, of course, do not have that problem. If you have an environmental suit, or even some sort of rebreather, you will be fine. If you don't, keep an eye out for something that could help filter out the toxins. These are solinate tables. I read the these reports about them. The Solinate kidnap victims through subspace for their brutal experiments. If they are somehow connected to the Alachi and the Vaadwaur, this is beginning to make sense. If I had to guess, there must be a stasis room nearby. We should find it and rescue anyone in there who can still be saved. It looks as if they are converting their captives into more Alachi. If my readings are correct, there are several individuals here who have only just begun the conversion process. We can save them if we beam them back to your ship. We're transporting you to a Romulan ship. You're going to be fine. You'll be back on duty before you know it. One to be marked. Transport this Stalaxium directly to sickbay. Ah, a Hazari. Stay calm. We'll get you the medical attention you need. This is no way for a proud Klingon warrior to go out. We'll patch him up immediately. A Kazon? Even the Borg won't assimilate a Kazon. Everything will be fine, Mr. Teray. We'll beam you directly to sickbay. Well, the Solanae are definitely involved. I believe I have everything I need from this area. We need to keep moving if we hope to meet up with Commander Jirok. The door is unlocked now. We should keep going.
Odd. You sound like you're in a Solanae lab, but we're in some place that looks like a prison. In fact, I'd say that's exactly what it is. And they've just had a breakout. Whoever it was, they used our arrival as the distraction they needed to make their move. I'll keep looking for more information, but I hope the escapees are friendly.
Be careful, Commander.
A prison break? Maybe I should go back to the ship. Neural parasites. This must be where the Vaadwaur were implanted with those mind-controlling bugs. Neural parasites. Just as I suspected. Did you know that several Starfleet officers were infected by these in the mid-2360s? The Enterprise logs from that era are fascinating reading if you ever have a few dozen hours to spare.
I'll look at them later, Doctor. Continue, please.
If Gaul and the infected Vaadwaur were communicating with this station, it stands to reason that this may be the facility where the bluegill implantation takes place. We should definitely investigate further. If we can find the implantation room, then I should be able to analyze their equipment and gather more information. I don't believe it. The empirical evidence is right in front of me, but I'm actually having difficulty processing this information.
What is it?
This tech. This whole facility. It's Iconian. There are variations on the norm, of course, because of the Solanae and Alachi influence, but I see distinct signs of their presence throughout the facility.
Iconians here, too?
The Iconians, as we know them, rarely reveal themselves. The only known interaction with an Iconian in modern history took place on Kronos, when... Wait, you were there! I don't need to explain that situation again. As I was saying, the Iconians don't like to act directly. They use servitor races, like the Alachi and the Solanae, to cause chaos in their name. And the neural parasites, they've bioengineered. Rather like the founders created the Jem'Hadar, but sophisticated enough to control another species, and with much less free will. The parasites are a weapon.
What about the Vaadwaur? Were they active before the Iconians revealed themselves?
When Voyager revived the Vaadwaur, their technology was outdated compared to what other powers in the Delta Quadrant had at that time. Even the Kazon outdid them. But now, Vaadwaur technology is cutting edge. The only way they could have advanced so far, so fast, was by allying themselves with someone else. With the Iconians. The Vaadwaur got their tech upgrades from them, but they also got the neural parasites. The parasites gave the Vaadwaur power, but they gave the Iconians control. They were ultimately the ones pulling the strings. This entire war has been against an enemy we didn't even see.
That's the information we needed. Let's meet up with Commander Jirok and get off this station.
This is more like a factory than a laboratory. Some of this technology is ancient, but it's quite advanced.
Taking some quick readings of those Alachi, they're showing the same energy signature as Parasite and Enhanced Vaadwaur, but they're fluctuating. Alachi will be phasing in and out. Well, maybe we can beat them, just have to pick the right moment.
These parasites aren't a natural species at all. They look engineered.
I think we're catching up with the escapees, and they might be from the Alpha Quadrant. We found a dead Romulan in prisoner garb. He was part of the breakout, but I don't know if he was part of the Republic or loyal to the Tal Shiar. Keep an eye out. The prisoners are headed in your direction.
Understood. We'll be ready for them.
Maybe we should avoid any potential contact with the prisoner? I think I've seen enough combat for today.
How fortuitous. I thought I'd have to find a way off this station alone. More Alachi. I don't think the Iconians want me to leave. Their tenacity is almost admirable.
Looks like you could use a hand.
And now we have their leader's attention.
Seela! I should kill you where you stand. It will be justice for all the lives you've destroyed.
Calm down, Jirok.
And if you do, you'll never learn about the Iconians. I've been here for months. I've seen enough to know you need my help.
This could be very valuable information, Commander Jirok.
Fine, you interrogate her. I might get a little carried away. But she returns with me to the Lisette when you're finished here. Seela is a prisoner of the Romulan Republic. Your government can go through official channels if they want to talk to her.
Agreed, you can take her into custody once we're done.
You and this Seela person seem to have some history. I'll leave you to speak to her.
Not so fast. You have the weapons, but I have the information. If you want to learn what I know, you'll need to keep those Romulan rebels under control. You've stumbled into something much greater than you're prepared to handle. I'm the best ally you have.
Talk, then I'll decide what happens to you.
I assume you already know where you are. Both the Alachi and the Solanae serve the Iconians. The Alachi are their warriors, and the Solanae are their scientists. They're the ones who created those creatures implanted into the Vaadwaur.
The neural parasites, why do the Iconians use them here and not on the Tal Shiar?
Hakiv joined the Iconians out of faith. He thought the Iconians would create an empire he could rule. That did not go as planned. This time the Iconians wanted to control their puppets. When the Vaadwaur asked for strength to defeat their enemies, the Iconians gave them the parasites. The Vaadwaur had strength, but also strings. Strings that have now been cut. I'm sure you had something to do with that.
Yes, alongside the alliance of the Federation and the Romulan Republic.
All three of you working together? The world has changed in my absence. Or were the Vaadwaur that much of a threat to the Alpha Quadrant?
Actually, we're in the Delta Quadrant now.
That explains some things. I'd love an escort back to the world at large, but I have a feeling you have some questions first.
I don't have any questions, but I expect you to answer some before your trial.
Will I be taken into your custody, or will I be left to Tiaru's tender mercies?
We've agreed that in the spirit of cooperation, Commander Jirok will take custody. She's under strict orders to deliver you to the Alliance Command. You will not be harmed.
Very well. It's not like I have a choice in the matter, do I?
Lisette 1 to beam up. We're finished here, Captain. Seela is safely in the brigade of the Lisette. Although I think it will be a lot of negotiations between the Empire and the Federation before we know what will happen to her. Until then, we should report our findings to Admiral Tuvok and the Alliance Command.
Alachi was taken by the Iconians last year, many of my people thought she would get away with her heinous crimes against the galaxy. With her in my brig, I am happy to know that is no longer a possibility. Of course, I understand that the Romulan Republic's claim on her is not unique. Her crimes are against all of the Alpha Quadrant. To that end, I will ensure that she be made available to all the Alliance leaders for interrogation and debriefing.
Well, that wasn't exactly what I'd call a walk in the park. At least we know exactly how the Iconians were controlling the Vaadwaur. And you've certainly put a crimp in their plans. On the upside, as a photonic life form, I'm immune to any attempts at subversion by neural parasites. I'll see to the care of the captives we've rescued. In the meantime, it sounds like you and the Romulan Republic Command have a lot to talk about. Sela certainly has a story to tell, but should we believe all of it? I'll put a bug in Admiral Janeway's ear about the situation. That was a joke, by the way. You're going to be busy. Don't overdo... Oh, who am I kidding? Command officers never take their doctor's advice. Just remember that you're not in this alone. Good luck. I suspect things are starting to get interesting.
Thank you, Doctor. Sir, the fleet has sent intelligence ships to Colm and the outpost for more information on the Iconian involvement. We're cleared to return to normal space at your command. Let's do it. Sela and Iconians, I did not expect that. It's a lot to take in to hire Master. And while I'm sure the former Empress has some interesting stories to tell, I know the Romulan Republic will want her to answer for her crimes against her people. There will be some tricky back-channel negotiations before all this shakes out. I'll keep you posted as much as I can. Thank you. And thank you, warriors, for watching, and we will see you again soon.